Hey guys, thanks for listening to The Cynical Nerd. Please keep in mind that we do not avoid spoilers for any of our topics, whether they are current or past media. Listen at your own risk. Oh, damn it.
Well, shit. So, happy 4th of July. Late 4th of July.
Happy 6th of July.
Happy July 6th. We're recording late this week. Oh, sorry. Thanks to our sponsor, Monster.
Oh, Java Monster.
Yeah, this is Mean Bean. They sent us both 24 packs, a variety to test them all out. We'll let you guys know.
Yeah. Listen, let me tell you something about Java Monster. The Mean Bean is fucking great. It's excellent.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else who drinks them, so that makes me happy because I was like, this is delicious, and no one else that I see ever drinks them.
I don't anymore because of the sugar. However, and I'm a big fatty. Like, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a larger person.
Oh, that's a lot of sugar.
I didn't
realize it was that much.
It's a lot of sugar.
I'm over here like, I don't drink soda.
But it's very delicious. I just love Monster. Good cump.
Like any you like regular Monster, because I
not the green, no,
stand.
not the straight up like
okay.
Green. That's like one of the only ones that I just will go nowhere near.
Yeah, because it's fucking terrible.
It's disgusting.
I don't know how anybody ever liked Monster. I don't know how original.
Fluid.
I don't know how. Not gonna ask.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how Monster ever competed like properly against like Red Bull, like even Red Bull, which most people don't like either.
Yeah, no,
because it tastes like, I don't know, acidic gasoline piss. It's still what are we talking about? I don't know. Happy late 4th. We recorded late this week because of the 4th of July holiday. Therefore we're recording pretty much middle of the week. It's a Wednesday night. We are very irregular. It's very rare we record this late, and normally little behind the scenes. Normally what I would do in this case is I would put a moratorium on content added to a doc past a certain point, because if I encroach too much on next week, it's going to be super light, which is not a big deal, but still. That being said, the Clerks 3 trailer just dropped today, and I have to put it in here for our storied history here at the Cynical Nerd with Kevin Smith in general. So we're definitely discussing that. That came out today on the internet at like 12 o'clock noon. We'll talk about that later. I can't wait.
We're going to talk about our penultimate Boys Season 3 episode. Our season finale, Season 4, Stranger Things.
Oh, hang on. What was that? What show?
Stranger Things.
Okay, but I'm not getting it. Maybe it's my headset. Oh, Stranger Things.
Oh, Smell Them Things. Yeah.
Smell them things.
And then Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. I just stole your thing from you. I didn't ask. I
liked it. Yeah. I was happy that I was like, oh, look, he's taking charge. I went from like 6 to midnight.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff to talk about in here on Week in Review and trailers, but I really want to talk about the other stuff.
I do too. We have a lot of trailers.
Like a lot? Yeah, just quite
so
a
we're
bit.
Gonna get,
quite a few.
We're going to get
through. Quite a few.
I haven't, I joke about drinking too much all the time, but I really do drink too much. So I've started, I haven't had anything in like 3 days.
Excellent.
Which at this point is pretty fine. I don't it's not like, I just got to break the habit is really what it is.
Yeah. I drank so much this weekend. Like it was like, I've gone back to having like a Friday night drinking thing pretty much every week, which I got away from for a while. But this weekend I drank like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday all day, Monday all day. And I just woke up yesterday and was like, I gotta slow down with this a little bit. I have marked my temporary sobriety date for, I go on vacation to Sea Isle later this month. Oh, cool, and I'm not going to go to Sea Isle, which is kind of a party town, and not drink. It's just not going to happen.
Around.
Yeah, like I'm not going to set myself up for failure. So once that's done, that is my temporary sobriety.
Nice.
stretch. That's when it's going to happen.
Yeah. I was targeting right after 4th of July. And I looked it up. So just because we talk about real life, we tend to we tend to ice break the beginning of the episode with real life and then talk about all the other shit.
Like,
by the way, before we get too far in, facebook.com/cynicalnerd, Twitter, at the Cynical Nerd, and TikTok, which we haven't really posted too much on TikTok lately, and I'm trying to get back to it. It's just been a busy couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And this is episode 74. It's a very weird format. I didn't even ask you how you were because we just started talking about 4th of July. That's and I'm not gonna at this point.
Yeah, don't.
Because I'm afraid of the answer.
Yeah, you should be. Don't ask.
But I realized, I was like, you know what? I really need to stop drinking. And I'm like, but here's the thing. Like, I mean, in full transparency, I had like a real deep conversation with myself. I guess it wasn't really a conversation. It was more like a deep
internal monologue
thought process with myself. And I was like, do I need to like, not pulling any punches here. Do I need to like go find help? Because I was drinking a lot. And I was like, I was reading about it and I instantly felt better about myself because normally when you look up things on the internet, it makes it sound way worse than it is currently. But in this case, it went the other direction. So I'm just like what is considered like a habitual drinker. Like I don't drink because I depend on it or need it or like social pressure, obviously, because I'm home all the time. I've talked about it before to you, but like, put the kid to bed, go upstairs, get on my computer, day's over, reward, crack a beer. And I got into a rhythm. I was just doing it like every night. And, so I've downloaded this app. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because I'm going to wait to see if it actually helps. And they help you like just cut back. It's like, look, like people drink, like, as long as you don't need to go into like rehab, like why don't we just try to like just have a little less, like pick a couple dry nights a week, still drink, but like, and it's been going great. I actually was I was allowed, per the guidelines this app set, to have 5 drinks tonight. 5
drinks, 5 of them,
and I haven't had anything in 3 days. So
very nice.
And that's it's the same thing with dieting for me. Once I start, it becomes infinitely easier after like 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what was I doing that for? It's silly. I feel way better now.
That's how I am with drinking with like 2 weeks. It takes me like a solid 14 days of not drinking. And then I like totally don't need it at all. Not that I ever need it. I don't have the shakes or anything.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
but I just kind of like, I'm sitting here sometimes and I'm like at work, I'm like, should I grab something on the way home? And I'm like, nah.
Right.
Then I get home and I'm like, I'm not fucking doing anything. I'm running around the corner and I'm grabbing a 6-pack. Like, it's just like, why not? It is like, in all sincerity, not to start off the podcast with a health PSA or anything, but I mean, I work for gastroenterologists, and liver patients. People with alcoholic liver disease are a huge part of our patient base. And, for anyone listening, you do not want liver issues. Like, you really, really, really don't. And so as much as like what you're saying, how it's not a problem now, it's never a problem at first. That's the whole point. Like I'm happy that you were to look that up and get that comforting fact that it's not, but that's sort of the back and forth I go with. We're like, I always look like weigh against like the recommended amount you should drink for someone my age versus what I'm doing. And a piece of me goes like, oh, okay, I'm a little below that. But the fact of the matter is, like, over time, that amount gets less and less and less and less. And unless you're like really paying attention to your, like what your intake is and adjusting to that, you can accidentally slip into like causing irreversible damage to your liver. Having cirrhosis or liver scarring is a fucking nightmare that I wouldn't wish on anyone. It's a horrible fate. So if you're listening and you think you're drinking too much, maybe look it up. Maybe talk to your doctor about it. It's never a bad idea.
Yeah, now that you've scared the absolute shit out of me, let's have our episode.
Let's do it.
Today, this week, we're gonna talk about.
You're just traumatized for the rest of the episode.
No, I mean I do need to get blood work done. I drank a lot for a long time just because it was habitual, and I've never had any like signs of anything, but still, I don't know because I haven't had blood work done in a while. So
yeah.
And we're getting old.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
you can't drink like you were.
I'm like
when you were
27 now. I never understood that. Just to completely side rail this conversation.
What, lying about your age?
Yeah, I've never understood it. Men or women?
Understand it. I 100% understand it. Yeah.
Why?
Like if someone asks me who's not a doctor and is not someone who's like in my life how old I am, I will tell them I'm 28 years old. Full stop. Like if I'm just talking to someone at the laundromat or something, they're like, "Oh, how old are you, honey?" I'm 28. Boom.
That's interesting.
I don't know why. Maybe it's like, you know how some people steal like packs of gum from Walmart and they get like a rush from it? I think it's like adjacent to that. Like just that I've like convinced someone I'm 5 arbitrary years younger than I actually am just feels good.
Fair.
Yeah, 100%. I think I'm going to keep pushing it.
I've never done that.
I think I'm going to tell people I'm 28 until I'm 38. And then I'll switch to 33. Like, I think I'll only ever go, like, do like a 5 to 10 range. Now, I totally get it. 100%.
I used to, because, well, not so much because I got fat, but when I was skinnier, I would always get guessed under because I have kind of a baby face. And then even when the gray hair came in, they'd be like, "How old are you? You have gray hair.
Do you have a weird baby gray hair disease or something?"
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Smell them things. Anyway, episode 74. We got a ton of shit to talk about, and I promise not all of it is as depressing as do I maybe have cirrhosis and don't know about it yet?
You don't.
So we're gonna jump right into the articles. And after we're gonna try to like smash through these, so smash that like button, get through these fucking trailers, and talk about the shit that we have to talk about for the week because it's fun. It's fun. It's going to be very exciting. I am very interested to hear your thoughts not only on the Stranger Things finale because I'm fairly certain I know about where you'll land, give or take a little in either direction. But Beavis and Butthead, I have no idea. And I didn't tell you how I felt either. Anyway, do you want to become my friend on Pokemon Go? Of course you don't, because nobody plays it. And neither should you. I'm just kidding. Some people play it. Yeah, but the studio, unfortunately, is not feeling the love because they cut more than 80 staff and they don't know what to do. They're riding low on the current Pokemon Go wave that almost doesn't exist anymore because no one plays it. I'm sorry, I'm being really mean. This is all underhanded attack of my friend P, but I'm very sorry. But for real, I don't want to play Pokemon Go. Don't send me any friend requests. Niantic is the company who made Pokemon Go very popular when it came out. Was it like 2018 at this point? Maybe.
Gotta be before then. That feels like way too recent. Maybe I'm wrong.
But it's never cool. It's 2016. Jesus Christ. And then in 2019 they tried to release that Harry Potter thing. Remember that?
Right,
the Wizards?
right. Yeah. I had heard about it. I never don't know. I never looked into it.
Yeah, not many people did because it was shut down earlier this year before Pokemon Go was, and it came out 3 years later. Yeah, I don't like hearing when a game studio that made something that endeared itself to my heart for even a week's worth of time.
Yeah.
Which is basically what Pokemon Go did. For like a week, I was like, cool, let's go walk around. This is great. It makes us exercise. I remember pulling over into a church's parking lot at like 8 p.m. one night because I saw a Pokemon that I wanted, and I saw some other nerd walking down the street, and I was like, that's the guy that I'm battling right now. And we didn't even talk to each other, so it didn't foster any social interaction. Tires. Well, he was walking, but I cut his legs off, so it's about the same.
Same effect.
Yeah, no one knows. I didn't tell anybody. Ran him right over. He's probably dead now. But it sucks when a studio has to fire a bunch of people, so I'm not really celebrating it, even though...
I'm a bitter piece of shit. And like all 4 people in my life who are like, no, it's coming back, like, and lying to me and themselves at the same time. I just want to see them fail. Like, I want them to have to come crawling back and go, oh, you were right, Derek. Because I know I am. I know I am. This game is stupid. It had its fucking heyday. It was gimmicky. Exactly. You're like walking out, wow, we're doing stuff. And then you realize like, oh man, this actually isn't that fun. I'm walking into people and everybody's going to the same fucking park that I'm at right now. And,
yeah, but now you can raid big groups on...
Right. There's always some like, yeah, but now there's this feature made up of words that mean nothing to you. I'm like, that's great for all 4 of you. I want to see him go under.
That's the vitriol I was missing in my life this last week. Check this out. There have been conversations. It feels like forever. About a pirate game called Skull and Bones from Ubisoft being released. If I remember correctly, we first heard about this, and I've made this reference before, but to show you how small-minded I am, much like Armageddon and Deep Impact, Skull and Bones, I feel like I heard about the same time Sea of Thieves was announced. Right. I'm pretty sure they were happening at the same time, and I was like, weird, two adjacent pirate games. Why is this happening? Which one has Bruce Willis? Sea of Thieves came out. Skull and Bones just faded away, and no one ever heard about it.
Yeah.
It has been in development for I don't know, some ridiculous amount of years. It was announced in 2017 originally. 2017, just in case you wanted to take a second and count how many years it's been, because it's been more than you're probably comfortable admitting to yourself.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that was last year, but it wasn't. You're old.
It wasn't.
It's like the rest of us. It looks like that game, which has a lot of behind-the-scenes rumors of a very troubled development track, may finally be releasing in November. And I just realized something hilarious. Because we just got another release date today for God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah.
In November on the 9th.
Yeah, and if reverse 9/11.
If this article is right, there's no way that they release Skull and Bones the same time that Ragnarok is coming out. I would imagine they would shift it yet again.
Right.
Spoiler alert, Ragnarok released a cinematic trailer today called Father and Son. Should be called Dad and Boy.
Yeah.
For Ragnarok, which looks really sick. We'll get to it later. And an official release date later this year, which is funny because I almost tossed an article in here this week about how people have been playing the date guessing game for Ragnarok, and they keep confirming it's this year, but haven't given us a date. And then they fucking got me.
Got him. No game that's been in development for 10 years is going to be good.
It's going to be good, right? It's going to be
no way.
At best, it's going to be like Fortnite. The main mode you're supposed to play in that game, no one's going to like.
Yeah.
And they're going to release some free-to-play garbage piece of shit mass marketed to kids off of one aspect of it.
Plus, Sea of Queefs is just so good. It's why would you play? I don't know. I don't know anything about it, so that feels unfair. But really, 10 years? That's absurd. That is a long time to be in development hell.
Yeah, and what's so weird about it is that
for
originally
a game I didn't hear about until I read it in this article just now.
Right. It was originally started as a spinoff of Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And they were gonna take those mechanics, and flesh those sailing mechanics out more and make it into a game. So you kind of, and Ubisoft has a really fast turnaround time with a lot of these games.
Yeah.
That shit just didn't happen for whatever reason. But anyway, speaking of shit that should have been out already, Halo Infinite co-op. Whenever I pull off a good segue and I get a snort out of you, I want you to know that I get just a hit of dopamine, just
good.
right into the fucking spinal
just a little
column.
a full syringe of heroin, but I'm just giving you a dollop, just a little bit to give you a taste.
Exactly.
Right.
To be addicted. Halo Infinite co-op testing starts July 11th, and they finally add mission replay. Hello, two things that were supposed to be there at launch. But the question remains, you and I said that we were probably going to go back and co-op it once it came out. Is that still hold true? Would 100%. You like to do that?
I would actually love to replay that game. I really loved the game. It's the multiplayer of that. The exact opposite happened. The multiplayer is what underwhelmed me, and the campaign ended up being a fucking blast. It has faults, but the gameplay is fucking incredible, and I would love to replay it.
It was juice. The campaign was very fun.
Juice.
And a video leaked before this official announcement came out, and it was of a co-op campaign level, and I was like, that just looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
It just looks like fun. I'm gonna have to order 100 chicken nuggets, pick up some beer, and we'll co-op it.
Well, we could DP all the towers. You could be up there in your Banshee Shoostin', and I'm on foot infiltrating. It's gonna be a good old time.
I like that you did this, the Master Chief bounce. Yeah. Oh fuck! They're gonna do a 10-day
But it is
test.
it is really insane that how long did it come out, and this is just happening now. I mean, that's a little absurd. Well, it's more than a little absurd. I'm still paying for Game Pass though. Like I keep forgetting to fucking cancel it. So
because it's cheap too.
Yeah, so you almost like miss it on your bank statement.
Yeah,
so
they
that's
keep stealing.
like not even 1 week from today. So that's co-op testing. Okay.
Yeah.
But in any event, yeah, absolutely, I would love to replay that co-op.
Hot. All right, listen, I have a very important conversation to have with you.
All right, hit me with it. Hit me with your best shot.
We view ourselves as fair individuals, faux reporters, if you will. I'm kidding. I don't. But for the purpose of this article, we have not shied away from ragging on Chris Pratt.
Yeah, he's terrible.
He's kind of terrible. Nothing's changed. Moving on. No.
Yeah.
We said some shit about him a couple, I don't know, months ago at this point, probably 6 or more about him. And there was some rumors about, I think Elliot Page called him out for attending some historically shitty church called Hillsong Church. And Hollywood Reporter talked to him about, I don't know, one of the 13,000 projects he's involved in, but shouldn't be. And, and he clarified a lot of stuff. And look, I know we're not like printing retractions in here because we didn't like none of the stuff we say is like, it's not our reporting. We're not sourcing the shit. We're just we're just the water cooler guy at your job that you can't stand because he won't shut up about like fucking Marvel movies.
Yeah. Did you see that article? And he just doesn't give a shit.
Do you guys know Christian Bale was cast as Gore in the Thor movie? And they're like, shut up. No one cares, you fucking
damn,
plebes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, God, this guy would go away. But here's the thing. We talked a lot of extra shit about how he was just a garbage human being and blah, blah, blah. I might not want to see him. Oh, the camera. I might not want to see him in movies, but he did clarify and basically said, like, I'm not a religious person. I consider myself a spiritual person, like he believes in God. Long story short, it looks like he's never attended Hillsong, which is what we were basically throwing in his face that one time we were talking about him. And the whole reason I wanted to bring it up was to just say, maybe he's only 80% as bad as I thought he was. How's that?
The other thing is,
that's
like,
what I'm here for.
There's this big trend that, like, I have no respect for people who do this thing, and like you see it a lot in, Republican people, where they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not a Republican, but I vote for Republican people, and I support Republican policies." And I have a sign of a Republican in my. It's like, dude, just say it. Like, it's okay. Just say it. Like, why do you? There's like this idea of like not wanting to give yourself the title so that you don't catch the backlash for it, while also reaping the benefits of acting like that thing. And I feel like that's what Chris Pratt is doing. He like does very religious things. I had read somewhere. I almost don't want to say this because, well, then again, like you said, we're not fucking journalists, so I don't need to like fact check my shit. I had read that he on Easter like put up a cross, like a 12-foot cross in his front lawn. And it's like, okay, so you are a religious person. Like, just say that you're a religious person. And I'm not one of these people that just because you're religious, I automatically think you're a scumbag. A lot of people I know, even though I'm atheist, that are religious are very good people. Yeah. It's like the way you apply that and like how extreme you are with it. That's what makes you a scumbag. So like, he's clearly religious. However, like, again, there was no evidence whatsoever that he went to this church called Hillsong. And so now even in this article, you saw that they're shifting laterally into like these unnamed sources saying that he goes to a Hillsong adjacent church. This is like 3 times in 2 minutes it's happened. I don't know what the deal is.
It's okay. I mean, if it keeps happening and you don't want to have to fix it, I'll just say that we can't have a video version this week.
But it just seems like a stretch. Like, all right, if there's no evidence that he's involved with this shitty church, then maybe just drop it. Like, maybe cut your losses and just drop it.
Right.
The other thing this article mentions is that I guess that he and his new wife had a baby, and he had posted like, "I'm just grateful that I had a healthy baby," and people like tore him apart. I'm like, There's so much wrong with Chris Pratt that's like legitimate that you can take a shit on his chest for.
Yeah, guys, like, come on.
Being grateful that you had a healthy baby is not one of them. Like, give the guy a fucking break. Like, come on, that's ridiculous.
And what's worse is, I'm glad you brought it up because I would have forgotten about that part, and that was like at least 40% of the reason I put this article in here. They said that he like praised giving birth to a healthy baby girl, and a bunch of people were saying like, I can't believe he would thank her for a healthy daughter when his first child was born premature. That's such a dig at his ex-wife. Yeah. That's the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And he's right. And what he said, his response was, and I'm like, that's fucked up. My son's going to read that one day. He's 9 and it's etched in digital stone. It's really bothering me, dude. I cried about it. And that sentence, I was like, he seems more normal now. I don't know. Yeah. I'll put this in here. We'll talk about it for a minute. And then we're going to move on like we're doing right now.
But still fuck Chris Pratt, like overwhelmingly.
100.
We're not pro Chris Pratt. We haven't like changed teams or anything.
We're not pro Pratt.
We just have to be.
Is that wait, I can't put pro Pratt as the title because people think we're pro Pratt.
We are, yeah.
People read headlines.
Put pro Pratt with him with a thumbs up and then like the X through it. Not pro Pratt.
Yeah. Shit. I don't know. He might be in there somewhere. I'm just gonna put his name down so I don't forget to have idea.
Later, be like, notes. Why did I write the name Chris Pratt?
Oh, I'll remember. Big picture of him plastered so I could coom on it. Kidding. I'm only kind of kidding.
I wouldn't do
kidding.
that to you, Pratt.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. We have. I didn't call you, Google. Mind your business. We have discussed, not ad nauseum, but quite extensively, offline and on the podcast, our love-hate relationship with Blizzard. And I'm not talking about any of the. We're not talking about the controversy today or the. We're backburnering all that shit for the important stuff, the games. No, I'm kidding. No, the people who work there and condone that environment should be burned at the fucking stake. Let me be very clear. I was just making a poor taste joke. But we've talked extensively about our love-hate relationship with them over the years and how their quality's been going downhill and how Overwatch 2 looks like a joke now. And, you know, we want Diablo 4 because Immortal is also a joke, but kind of cool, but not really because it's predatory.
Fun.
Yeah. It's predatory, so it's not, but it's kind of cool because I'm still playing it. But some good news here. So one of the things that we had speculated out of the end of this whole, the protests against Bobby Kotick and the walkouts from the employees and all the shenanigans with the state of California and the trouble that they were in was that, and then rumors came out that they were potentially getting purchased, which is great, would be great. And in our, one of the avenues that we took in that conversation was maybe this is actually a good thing. Maybe someone will double down on doing what Blizzard is known to do in the past. They'll funnel some much needed money into their development team, new content, more consistent content. And guess what? It's exactly what's happening right now. There was a game that came out and I played it, but I don't think a lot of people played it, which is why that they bought the studio, called Spellbreak. Mm-hmm. And it was a battle royale, but it was a magic casting battle royale. Did you ever see a trailer for it?
I played it actually briefly.
Oh, okay. Did you like it at all?
If ever there was a battle royale that I would have gotten into, it probably would have been that one because it was cool. You had to kind of gather resources to make like spells and stuff. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Yeah, like you'd have one of 3 different kinds of gauntlets for the element, I think, and then you would craft gear in these towns, and the different spell types were all like fairly balanced. Like this would be better than this, but it was like rock paper scissors with the classes basically. And I played it for a couple weeks when it came out, much like everybody did apparently. And that was made by a small studio in I think out of Boston, if I'm not mistaken, called Proletariat, and they're being purchased by Blizzard. They acquired the studio and they're putting 100 developers from this Boston-based team directly on the World of Warcraft. These are guys who, some of them are veterans from Harmonix, Insomniac, Turbine. They actually said, some of the developers in the team for Spellbreak had said
well, we love like MMO stuff. That's what we were trying to work towards with Spellbreak, but it was kind of like dipping their toes in. They were a young startup studio.
Yeah.
Great news. 100 developers. We were already talking about Dragonflight looking much more appetizing after the announcements and knowing that talent trees were coming back and hopefully a deeper focus on class structure and less of a expansion MacGuffin, because the last couple expansions have been what they call borrowed power. Like even Legion, as much as Legion was loved by most people, it was based around these weapons that you were never going to keep. Like the weapons had their own talent trees, but ultimately when the next expansion came out, they were disappearing.
Yeah.
And they kept doing this what's the next like flavor of the expansion thing, and they never got back to that. So after Legion, they did BFA, and they had Azerite armor that had like traits in it that were supposed to, but it felt like really shitty versions of those legendary weapons from Legion. Everyone hated BFA. Content release schedules were shit, and then basically this almost same thing fucking happened with Shadowlands. It's the MacGuffin was the Covenants and the Covenant power, and that was the borrowed power for this expansion. And because of COVID, but also because probably poor planning, their patch releases were shit. So
yeah,
Dragonflight looks better, and adding in 100 developers at this point in the pipeline means that they might have a lot better of a post-launch experience.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been talking for years about this, so please tell me what you think about it.
No, I mean, I am excited for it. I forgive you, Blizzard. I forgive you, Bobby Kotick. Just kidding. Not that part, but Blizzard. No,
I did nothing wrong.
I'm confused by this because I thought that Blizzard was acquired by Microsoft. So now that they're acquiring another, I don't know, maybe they have the freedom to do that still, but I don't understand how any of that shit works. But anyway, no, it's good news. Dragonflight seems like it could be good. Veronica and I never finished Shadowlands, and we decided that we're going to go back and do it. And we don't know. We're trying to time it right because we're like, well, why don't we start playing it now and then we'll finish it, and then we're like, but then what if we're burnt out on WoW again by the time Dragonflight comes out? No, I mean, I'm excited. I don't know what else to say. I don't know much about this studio other than like a Spellbreak, which I played very, very, very briefly.
So you're an expert.
So I'm an expert. That's right. So cool. They have extra hands on deck. Awesome. I'm hoping that like some fresh blood will, I don't know, bring some better ideas. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I got to get back to Final Fantasy 14 at some point too. That just feels
like
I've
just been paying for it.
Yeah. Have you really?
Yeah. I didn't stop my fucking
I haven't.
Sub. My buddy was like, I thought you were playing again. Why'd you tease me? And I was like, well, and this is not on you by any means. And I was the guys that were going to start playing didn't. And I don't love that game enough to just play it on my own all the time. I think it's totally fine. But I've told you before, Final Fantasy doesn't grab me in the same way from a lore perspective as a universe that things like WoW did or Diablo or whatever. Anyway, moving on. Super quick mention here because we're going to talk about this a lot later. Shouldn't really be a surprise. Stranger Things Volume 2 shattered Nielsen's streaming record. It's a little bit fuzzy because they don't always release their own numbers, but according to Hollywood Reporter, the first volume of season 4, which is episode 1 through 7, hit 7.2 billion minutes of viewing for the week of May 30th to June 5th. That's the highest weekly total for that's right, any streaming service. So that's pretty fucking crazy. There's really nothing else to talk about besides how bonkers that shit is, though. Like,
this is like my like climate change denial. Every time a new show comes out and there's like, it's the most streamed show of all time. This is like, I never believe it. They always dangle some fucking number in front of you like, oh, it hit 100 bajillion. The last was only 99 bajillion. It's like every time a new show comes out, it's the biggest, most streamed show ever. I don't believe it. I don't fucking buy it. Tinfoil hat. Listen to my vlog.
I have an idea for the episode title. Has nothing to do with what you were just saying.
Okay.
Pro Chris, Anti-Pratt.
Pro Chris, anti-Pratt. Yeah, anti-Pratt.
Because Pro Chris could be talking about me.
It's true. It's true. You're a good Chris. You're one of the good ones. We got some
like
good Chris's out here, and they deserve a little bit of time in the spotlight.
Yeah, all the Chris Hemsworth and Evans and every other white guy in Hollywood named Chris. Why did I get left out, huh? Where's my sick bod in Hollywood contract? Okay, moving into trailers because boy howdy, do I want to get to our main topics this week. You've never watched this show, and it makes me sad.
I have.
Oh, that's right. You watched a little bit and didn't really like it.
I didn't, but it's one of those things I always
also makes me really sad.
I'm going to give it another shot, but I just haven't yet, so maybe we should say what the show is.
That's a good idea. You're smart. That's why I keep you around. Harley Quinn on HBO Max, season 3, much like everything else in the world, was delayed forever during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It's been in development for quite some time. Seasons 1 and 2 came out pretty quickly. Season 3 is now premiering July 28th, so it's this month. And they released a teaser trailer for it. It's more of a full trailer, but I don't particularly have a lot to say about the trailer. Besides, if you watch the show now, it looks like a lot more of the same fun that the original show was. And I don't think it's a super huge spoiler if you watch this trailer. I always let it play while we're talking about it in the background, and I just saw Batman like licking Catwoman's foot. It's fucking disgusting. Sorry, I'm not a feet person. Don't do that to me. I don't want it.
I'm gonna do it.
It's not a super huge surprise that they parody a lot of the DC universe, but also in this one it was a little different because it looks like there's a James Gunn in there.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a parody, so even more meta than I would have expected. I don't know. It's hard to say. I really fell in love with this show, and I want you to like it. But if you don't, then I guess it's okay.
The trailer for this looked really funny, and the James Gunn bit was really good. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched. I don't know why I'm getting into that now with like trailers, but there's some stuff that like for a trailer, it's like it's just good to I don't know, have it catch you off guard. Anyway, there's a really funny bit with it. Like James Gunn, the director, is in this cartoon show as a character. Yeah. No, I know. And back when Scooter was on the show, he said the same thing. It was really good. I watched the first, I think, 2 episodes and just went like, this isn't for me. I didn't think it was bad or anything. It just didn't hook me in. I always have this thing where like, sometimes I'm not in the right mood. And like, obviously we have a schedule to keep. I have to watch like this show or that show before we record. And so like, if I happen, no, but I mean, really, it's when we all say, hey, we're going to watch this. It's like, you got to get it done. If I put it off and the last available time that I have to watch it, I happen to not be in a great mood. My bad mood can bleed into my opinion of the show. So I've always wanted to go back because I hear that it's a good show beyond just you and Scott. So it's just one of those things that's been on the back burner. Like I've always wanted to re-explore it, give it another shot. I just haven't yet. There's some really funny bits in this trailer. It has really endearing animation to it. So yeah. I'd like to check it out. I just don't know when. I can't promise when, but I will for sure.
There's this ongoing like Kite Man joke in the first 2 seasons. That's just a fucking.
I feel like I remember that. Yeah.
Just a joy. It's like he's like a joke character, which he is, and he comes off as like a total asshole. Like he turns into kind of a genuinely nice guy and you start to feel bad for him. Anyway, we're not talking about that right now, especially if you're planning on checking it back out again. Yes. We're going to move on and we're going to move on to Hocus Pocus 2. You know why I put this in here?
What was that?
My wife is really excited about it.
Oh yeah. I'm happy for her.
But seriously though, why?
I don't know. And I know it's one of those like epic 90s movies for 90s kids, but it just never, like I watched it and I thought I liked it, but I was never like, people were like, it's Halloween, I'm putting on Hocus Pocus. I'm like, I haven't watched that since like 1996 or whenever it came out. And whatever. Sarah Jessica Parker before she started to look weird. So it's kind of like a snapshot of history, but beyond that,
Yeah.
No thanks. I mean, pass. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Look.
I'm happy for Sam though. I really
Bette Midler
am.
Bette Midler is like an epic woman. Sarah Jessica Parker. Whatever.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, I mean,
Sarah Jessica Parker.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In the original Hocus Pocus film, she is.
Yeah, she's a honey.
A honey and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know. The first one has this air of like, I would never ever call it a cult classic, but it means a lot to some people.
It does.
Samantha's one of them. Like she has watched that movie a lot. It was just one of those things where it was like, it was always on Disney back in the day when it came out. But it's, we had it on like last Halloween or something. I think Grayson was watching part of it. And it's so over the top and silly. It's like a Disney. Remember Halloween Town? It's like a notch off from that.
No.
Well, don't. I'm glad you don't. You should be happy.
I don't even want to experience it one time now.
No. Let me hit you with fire 2 times. All right, whatever. Hocus Pocus 2 is happening. It's coming out to Disney Plus. If you're interested about it, it's coming out September 30th. We will not be reviewing it on the podcast, although I will probably end up watching it because my wife will watch it, which means I'll say something about it.
Are you gonna pity laugh at it for her? Like if there's a part where she has a big laugh, are you gonna go like?
See, a movie like Hocus Pocus 2 is exactly what they made Diablo Immortal for.
No, honey, I'm gonna sit under on the floor with my hands under the coffee table to watch this.
Oh yeah, Black Cat, gotcha. Cool. Damn it, no legendary gems. Okay. I thought this was a cool one. When I was younger.
When I was a boy.
When I was a young warthog. I don't know where Lion King came from. When I was younger.
Your brain.
I saw a movie. My brain. Called Fire in the Sky. Came out in 1993. It's an alien abduction movie. And I don't know how old I mean, I know that in 93 I was 5, so I probably wasn't much older than that, maybe 6 or 7. Old enough to know what I was watching and old enough to be scared shitless because of it. It was horrifying. If you've ever seen the movie, I have.
I don't believe so.
No, it's I remember there's these really like now cliche shots that it was the first time I had seen them of like someone running through a dark forest and looking up and seeing like lights from some unidentified ship flashing down at them. And they show the aliens, which are creepy enough. And yeah, it's like a horror, like alien abduction movie.
This looks scary.
It was very scary. And
the aliens are creepy in this movie.
They're very creepy. We'll watch it. I don't want to go back. It's actually like scared me when I was a kid. Foyer in the sky. It's not how you say it.
That's how they say it throughout the whole movie. You're like, why do they keep saying it like that? There's a foyer in the sky.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of body horror in it. Like, you know, they're abducting people to like do terrible experiments on them, and you know, it's a typical 90 trope of like they want to put stuff in your butt. But like, seriously, no, they're gonna put stuff in your butt.
Yeah.
But anyway, I saw that movie, and ever after, whenever they cast alien visits in a horror fashion, like even Signs.
Yeah. When I like Signs. Everybody shits on it. I don't know.
I think we've talked about this recently where we were both like, yeah, no, I liked it.
Yeah.
I know the ending's cheesy with the swing away, but like, I still liked it.
I like the swing away, Merle. I think it's a great part.
I liked it.
I don't give a shit.
But early on, the found footage or caught on camera of them at like a birthday party in some European town.
Yeah. And
like an alien kind of just like leisurely walks by the end of the alleyway, which in retrospect sounds silly as fuck when I say it out loud.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't like that. Alien abduction shit in a horror fashion has always freaked me out. And that was a very long-winded way of saying that there's a game coming out called Grey Hill Incident, which is exactly what I just described in asymmetric horror form, which is a term I'm beginning to hate in the video game world because everyone and their mom is making an asymmetric horror game.
Right.
However, just because this one hit somewhere close to home. As far as my personal experiences in life have gone, I thought it looked kind of cool, and
So this was PvP? I didn't pick up on that.
Actually, I think I'm wrong. I think it's just horror survival stealth.
Yeah. Everything about this trailer was cool except the aliens. Did
you see them?
They look so dumb. I'm like,
so that
everything else looks so cool. There's, like you said, he's like walking through a cornfield, and there's like sees like alien. The like lighting is really cool. You can see like the backdrop of an alien from far away. Like that part was cool. There's like a UFO hovering above a house and then like zips away like as soon as it sees that you see it. But then there's just parts where like aliens are walking out and they're just leisurely like they're going to like just walk to the corner to have a smoke. They're like, hey man, what's going on? And then he's just shooting it with a revolver. They look so dumb. They look so dumb.
They look like if someone was like, hey, can you make me the aliens from South Park but 3D?
Dude, but everything else looks so good that I'm like, I gotta try this out. I mean, as long as it's not $60, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be a $60 game.
Like atmospherically, like you said, the lighting is great. There's so much of like the brief flashes, like you said, there's
the sky.
The foyer in the sky. There's the cornfield where there's the mutilated cow, and there's like a tractor in the distance is one of the only light sources, and the lights are flashing on and off. Really good atmospheric effect. Anyway, coming out in spring 2023. It's a little ways away, so hopefully they make those alien models
aliens all together
a little scarier. Because, or at least, please change the aliens because it looked really cool otherwise.
Yeah, make them buff, like make them like the bodybuilders.
And I said it earlier, but you were correct. I was completely wrong. It's not asymmetrical horror. It's a combat system with stealth and close combat, but it looks like they're just going to be NPCs.
I agree with everything you said about being annoyed by every new game now is now asymmetrical horror.
There is a lot. There's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. We haven't talked about it yet, but
we don't have to. We don't have to talk about it. Sorry, go ahead. That was a joke.
No, it's okay. We really don't. But I'm gonna anyway. So we didn't talk about it because I thought the premise sounded like even worse than the others because it's like what is it? I might get this wrong. I don't have an article for it, but it was like 2 family members versus like 3 survivors, and I was like, what? It's like so in my mind, the whole point is like one side can't be vastly overpowered, right? So they more or less have to be balanced, which means that as the killers, you're not going to feel that much more powerful than the survivors. You can't because it's 2 to 3. It's not 1 to 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just sounds like it's going to be fucking bad.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to want to be Leatherface because who cares about being anybody else?
Yeah.
Whatever. Moving on to something else I probably don't want to talk about for that long. Kevin Bacon. We talked about him earlier.
Did we?
7 degrees of. Yeah,
I think it was pre-roll though. I don't think we actually said
not even
it.
recorded.
Yeah.
Oh, don't talk about that. We don't talk about what we do off recording.
No.
As far as they know, we stop recording and don't talk to each other the rest of the week.
And we just start arguing.
Mm-hmm. You fucking dick. So it's a Peacock original.
Yeah.
Talk about an that's like an oxymoron, right? Peacock original. Burn. Literary burn. They Them is coming out. Yeah, I know.
They Them is coming out.
Yeah, somehow the title sounds pandering, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like you're like, oh boy, really? You just right on the nose, no subtext. So here's the synopsis. Kevin Bacon is in it. That's why I mentioned it.
That's it. That's the whole synopsis. Kevin Bacon's in it.
Yeah. When a group of LGBTQ plus campers arrives at Whistler Camp, it's a conversion camp run by Kevin Bacon. They are promised a new sense of freedom by the end of the week. So all of us here at The Cynical Nerd, our producers, video editors, on the street reporters, our sponsors, I'm kidding, but me and Derek both strongly think that conversion camps are one of the worst things, TM, that people have made.
Copyright, registered,
trademarked. They're very, very horrible.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what they are and you want to be sad, I'm kidding. You should still know about them, even if it makes you sad. We should still read the uncomfortable things. They're basically like, it's like Pray the Gay Away. Like they send kids to religious conversion camps because they think that you can be cured, which is very sad and oftentimes contributes to far more psychological problems for those teens who are in a very vulnerable place already. And this is not the sad nerd podcast, but it's just not good at all in the slightest. Yeah. Lots of shitty politicians and some organizations have been found to contribute to them heavily. And anyway, someone thought this was a great idea for a horror movie. And there's a small, like a pinprick of light in this, let's say, dartboard of, could this tell a great story that's very allegorical? Yes, it could. Will it? Probably not.
Yeah. I don't anticipate that it will. I'm glad that you gave me that synopsis. Because when I first watched it, I thought, well, this is an interestingly cut trailer. I'll give it that. But beyond that, I have no idea what this is about. It's just
they don't show it's like scenes.
It just looks like a standard campground slasher. I guess this time they're just LGBTQ. Is it going to make a statement? Probably a bad one. Probably not the one they think they're making. Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. It's got the Baconator in it. It is, but in all seriousness, I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer. The trailer is cut in an interesting way. It's like
it is.
So there's like the they/them, and so basically there's a slash through the screen the entire time, and you're getting like two different scenes at all times that are sort of shifting. I don't know. It's an interesting like editing way to edit a trailer. So we'll see.
Word. True. Look, I never want anything to fail out the gate. As much as I might say so.
Yeah, I do.
It could be good, but it could also be as offensive as the Miles Morales Thor comic book. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes down. Deep cuts, if you know what that's referencing.
Yeah.
And by deep cuts, I mean, I think last week.
Yeah.
Don't have to cut very deep. Anyway. Couple more trailers to go. 3 of these things are video games, and then we get to talk about Clerks 3. Forever Skies exclusive gameplay trailer came out in the summer of gaming 2022. This is actually coming to early access in 2022, but they didn't give a date yet. So no lie, no cap, for real. When I saw this, I thought, I didn't know anything about it. I saw Forever Skies. The thumbnail on the video looked kind of cool. And I went, I would like to watch this gameplay trailer. Let me watch. And everything from the layout to even like the visual style, I went, oh, the people from Subnautica are making a version of it, but it's just like in the sky. Like you're not in the ocean, you're in the air now.
Yeah.
And it's not from those people. It's from it's from ex developers of Dying Light, and I'm not kidding. Like, even if you like, I know it's kind of a stereotypical sci-fi design element, but if you look at the screen, even the way the tools are laid out and the way that the water health and stamina is in the bottom left corner where it's like circles and the outer line is like your meter, that is identical to how Subnautica's interface looks.
I never played Subnautica.
It's a lovely game. It's not so much. So whereas it's single player, you cannot multiplayer it, which is sad. But it's also not like, it's not like build next tier of equipment to fight bigger monster. There are dangerous things, but it's way more about the exploration than it is about like fighting and murdering things. So it's a very zen experience. It's fun. There's a cool story in Subnautica. And the sequel, Below Zero, was just amped it up, was even better.
That sounds very sexual. This game, Forever Skies, didn't really catch me at first. Like, it just seemed, I don't know. I can't really place it. Catch me outside. It did not catch me outside. I was still inside.
How about that?
And... But there was this one shot, like, it seems like you're on a planet that has some poisonous fog, like, at the bottom, which, again, ever since playing Spider-Man on the N64, just, like, turns me off. I don't know, there's just something about that feels cheap to me.
N64, they did it in the fucking 2018 one. There's that.
Oh shit, you're right. They did. There was a segment where, yeah, holy fuck.
Wait, was that an homage to that game? Wow.
Oh, that was
we're smart.
That was like a nightmare sequence.
Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion.
You get poisoned.
The old stingies.
Oh yeah.
The stingray.
Hit you with that sharp poker.
But there was a part so you're in this like flying like hovercraft like and whatever. Like I guess some engine starts to overheat and you had to like run downstairs with like this coolant thing and like spray it down on the thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, that seems kind of cool.
It's right at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
It does look pretty fun.
Well, we'll see, right? That's what I've said about half of what we'll see. But I mean, really, there's just not enough to really know here. I would like, I don't know, there's something cool about that concept, right? Like you're on a planet that has an uninhabitable surface and you have to stay afloat, but your airship would have to constantly be on and functioning. So you'd have to like fly it, use it, and do repairs that happens as it breaks down as it goes. That could be kind of cool. I don't know. I don't know if that's the entire premise of the game, but if that's what it is, I'm into it.
Yeah, and it's almost like a reverse Raft, which is also a fun survival game. With maybe a less cartoony art style. I don't know. I'm going to check it out. I check out most survival games because I have a problem with them. Specifically, I like them a lot. Anyway, moving on. Did you like Skate?
I missed Skate. Like I missed it. Okay. I have heard.
Like you were just a girl waiting for a boy.
That's right.
On the corner.
And he never showed up.
No, it so sad.
I remember like my friends playing it when I was like 20 years old and it always looked really cool. I know they went for more of like Tony Hawk was like an arcade style, like music's playing and you're grinding and doing backflips and shit. And Skate
this is
was
for
like,
the real skateboarders.
It wasn't even necessarily like realistic. It was just more like atmospheric. Like you just have like the sound of your wheels beneath you and shit like that. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, like I missed it. And now like I to this day still see people talk about Skate 3. I guess that's the one people like truly, really, really loved. I just never played. And now I feel like I missed out. So I'm happy that they're doing another one. This trailer was like, I thought it was really cool. It was a really different type of trailer. They were basically like, you guys have been asking for a trailer and we don't have much to show. So we're just going to show you what we have. And I thought that was honest and just a neat, like it's very, very unfinished. Yeah. They referred to it like tongue in cheek as a pre alpha.
Yeah.
But they kind of gave you like a couple snippets of like their vision for what they want it to be. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. There's something about that like I respect. They were just like, all right, you want one and we don't have much, but we'll show you what you got. Why not? That was just cool. It's just a neat trailer.
I liked it too. I asked you if you had played it because I didn't either. I also missed Skate.
Oh shit. Okay.
I played the Tony Hawk games and then missed Skate. Like I was done playing skateboarding games at that point.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, because I was still gaming. But I my take on it was always that it was the more mature, grounded, down to earth skateboarding game, and it also I thought it was harder. Like the tricks were harder to pull off. Mm-hmm. I always got the gist of.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it looks like it is. And I also thought this was kind of like there was some footage that leaked from the developers that was unflattering, and it was a lot of that kind of stuff. So they put out their own thing. And literally titled it the official still working on it trailer.
Yeah.
Just going like, hey, it's happening. We're in the middle of it. They invited people to sign up to be on the insider playtesting program, which is cool. You always want that feedback, especially this early in the development phase. It might have been a good thing that they leaked. But yeah, I'm probably going to check it out when it comes out.
Yeah.
That's all I got. We don't have anything else.
Sam.
Big Sam. It took me a second there. Anyway, all right, moving on. We've been waiting for this one for a long time.
Yeah.
Ever since the announcement. God of War Ragnarok. Mm-hmm. They released another trailer, a cinematic trailer today called Father and Son, aka Dad and Boy, of Kratos himself with his son Loki, and there is a giant wolf that looks just fucking super cool.
It's gotta be Fenrir.
And this game's coming out in 9/11. Just kidding. November 9th. That's 11/9.
It's reverse 9/11. The towers are going back up, baby.
Okay, you said it.
Only took 21 years.
So I told my coworkers that you said that this morning. I'm looking at our group chat and I'm snickering, I will say, as I do quite often, because it's a funny chat most of the time. And except for when you and Benson are bickering about adult things. And then it's just funny. Outright funny. Like laugh out loud.
Right.
Haha.
LOL.
Anyway, I'm reading chat and I start laughing and my coworker's like, what? I'm like, my friends are fucking assholes. And she's like, what? And I'm like, you have your close group of friends that you don't think they'd ever, and you just proved me wrong. I was like, you don't think they'd ever say something in public because like everyone might think it's offensive, but like, they don't mean it. So, and then you're in your close knit group of friends, And they were like, yeah, of course we know. Everybody has those friends. I'm like, yeah, my buddy was just talking about God of War Ragnarok, and he's like, 11-9, the reverse 9/11 is going to bring the towers back. And they were like, oh, Jesus. Woo!
Yeah, it's going to be like those videos in
bring
reverse.
The towers
going to come back up. The plane's going to come out of the top of it and fly in reverse away. Everyone's going to be okay.
Happily ever after.
Oh, sorry, no. Potential family members of victims of 9/11 who may be listening.
Yeah, we're sorry. Been a long time though.
It has been, right?
Just forget about it.
Like when is it like Titanic? We can make fun of that. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm
totally
totally
we made
kidding.
that joke last week. Sorry.
Yeah, we probably did. It's been long enough though, right? It's got to be. Oh, we did make fun of it last week because it was the thumbnail.
Yeah.
It was our buddy hanging out the Big Lebowski.
Oh, so this week we should really up the ante and have the Titanic crashing into the Twin Towers. That should be.
Oh. Derek has asked me to make some questionable Photoshops in my life.
That's true.
But that's because they're personal and private. Titanic 9/11. All right, that might. I mean, it's. I don't know. I'll do it. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
All the conspiracy theorists were right. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. You know what can? Coal fire engines in the Titanic. I'm sorry. So many people died that day. It's been a long time there, right?
Yeah.
When are we allowed to make jokes when you know that we're not actually applauding their deaths? We're just trying to make light of the situation.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it any better.
Well, it's not like this is our like monologue on SNL that we're hosting or something. So I think we're okay.
That's true. Anyway, be excited. God of War Ragnarok comes out.
Yes.
November.
Very good.
November 9. And that's sick. We had heard for a while. People were really, really bothering them because rumors kept coming out that they were going to be announcing it soon, and there was like collector's editions leaks of like shit that was going to be included and listings on Best Buy and Amazon that were posted when they weren't supposed to. And we kept hearing from the developers, like, no, it's going to come out this year, because that was a big concern. Like everything in 2022 has been getting pushed, but it's coming out. That's nice. And it's coming out for the holiday season. And guess what? Derek and I are the proud owners of PS5s.
It's true.
That have been sitting there building up dust. So I'm ready to dust her off. The new, this is not a shill for them. PlayStation has not sponsored us this week, but the new PlayStation like monthly Game Passes have launched, and I've been meaning to go in and sign up. I think I was going to do the medium tier because there are several games that we discussed, like Returnal, that I wanted to check out, but was not going to pay $70 for. So I might actually be dusting the old PS5 off sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But cool. In all seriousness, God of War was just an astonishing fucking game.
It was a game.
And I can't wait for the sequel. I hope it doesn't disappoint me, even though I'm sure that it will. Speaking of things that I hope won't disappoint me, but I'm sure they will. The Clerks 3 trailer came out today. Listen, I'm feeling very nice, so I'm not going to go into the whole diatribe that I went off on earlier, but I will say this. I have a soft spot in my heart for Kevin Smith, and I know that the quality of his films has generally accepted to have gone downhill in a pretty straight line. He seems like a really nice guy. He seems like a sweetheart, and that's why I have a soft spot for him. I feel like we're kindred spirits when it comes to, I don't know, weeping about things that we like.
Yeah, the difference is you don't post pictures online, though.
Don't tempt me.
You're not like just watched Onward and you're just down to the neck in tears.
It's endearing. It's endearing, Derek. Well, I'm just kidding. Not to everybody. Which is why I don't do it, because people be like, get the fuck out of here. Why is the Cynical Nerds Twitter feed nothing but this one host just crying on camera? That's the thing. When you make fun of Kevin Smith for it, I'm like, it's not that bad. And then I'm like, what if that was our Twitter feed? And I'm like, oh God, how cringy would that? Like, I'd be so embarrassed of myself and the things I've done.
He does it so much. That's the thing. Like if a movie really like had that effect on you and you did it every now and then, sure. But it's so often. Like, just stop doing it.
Yeah, I've brought. Come on, Kev. I've brought this up to you before. But he did this. There's like only one or two reactions of his that I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I feel like this is a moment worthy of how upset you are right now. And one of them was the season 1 finale to the Flash show, which I have recommended at least a couple times on here because the first season's really good and pretty tight. They're pretty tightly written. And he's like sobbing to the ending. And I was like, okay, it's a very sad end. I get it. Anyway, back to Clerks 3. Clerks 1 and Clerks 2 have very different meanings to me. Like, they're just the kind of movies that, like, it's almost like maybe you were into a band when you were like 14 and like, I don't know, fell in love for the first time. I'm just using generic examples. And like the band, you might not consider them good anymore. You may not even listen to them anymore. But every now and then a song comes on and you're just like, okay, I'll sit in that memory. I'll sit in that moment. And that's kind of what Clerks 1 and Clerks 2 do. Although I still do like both of those films. And so look, here's as far as I'll go. If you can tell me that a movie that's paying homage to itself or being meta about other things in the genre can be good, then I see no reason to poo-poo this. And I know Derek doesn't feel this way about this movie. He's going to say that he can't stand it and wants Kevin Smith to die in a ditch. But look, I have a soft spot for Kevin Smith. And I thought the final joke in this trailer is him being like, you can't kill, Dante's like, you can't kill me off. What if we have a sequel? And he's like, it's something like, basically, like, what stupid piece of shit would make a sequel to this? And then Silent Bob's in the background. He just goes, and I thought I was going to hate that joke. And as soon as the last line landed, I laughed. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
might not be great, but I'm probably going to like it. Now, tear me apart, Daddy. I'm ready.
I'm not going to tear you apart. Here's my relationship with Kevin Smith movies. I started watching them like Clerks and Mallrats and all that as a kid. And there's like this weird, very unique quality to them. They take place in New Jersey. I grew up in Jersey. It's about a ragtag group of friends who are all crass. I was in a ragtag group of friends who were all crass. And so like those movies always made you feel like it was like you're watching a movie made by your friends almost.
Yeah.
They had like, I think that at the time when you're younger, moments that were like kind of poignant, and even though they were mostly just like dick and fart jokes, they had like, sometimes they made really good points. Like Chasing Amy's a good example of that. Like there are actually really kind of sharply bittersweet moments in that movie. And so like as time went on, I feel like he rusted as a director. I swear to God, I remember like 10 years ago him saying in a podcast, people made a big deal about it, that he had said, I'm not a good director. Like they just keep giving me money. Like he said it himself. I could be making that up. Misremembering that. I'm not making it up. His last couple movies, like they just aren't good to me. I agree. Like I posted about it earlier, something about Kevin Smith should just retire or something like that. And someone said, well, I thought Clerks 2 was good. And I thought Clerks 2 was good too. But here's the thing. It doesn't feel like it, but that came out 16 years ago. So it's like, there's been a lot. Yeah, it came out in 2006, buddy. That's the year I graduated high school.
Buddy.
It's been a long time. And so like the rust, although maybe started then, has gotten much worse since then. I never watched the new Jay and Silent Bob flick. It just did.
Oh, I actually didn't either.
The trailer was like, this does nothing for me. That being said, I feel like this is going to be the same thing. It's just like, there's some charm. They're old men now. Like they have kids and families, and it's like it's almost like they're play acting. It's like of course they are acting, you understand, but it's like they're trying to revert back to a previous mindset when they were kind of all just getting fucked up, and it's like that's not who you are anymore, and you can't fake it anymore. Like you've put enough work into being like dads, and it just doesn't, I don't know, just doesn't work anymore. I'm still gonna watch this movie.
Okay.
And I'm not shitting on anyone who wants to watch it, and that it's hard for me to believe anybody thinks it might be good. But across the board, I'm just seeing people who are saying what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's probably going to suck, but it's like Clerks 1 and 2, especially 1, holds such a weird spot. Like, remember the first time you watched Clerks 2, and it was just like you stumbled across something special. I know that sounds corny and it's kind of vague, but it's like it was a very atypical movie for like a 13, 14-year-old to watch. You just didn't see shit like that at that point. Like everything was like Braveheart or like, some like grandiose drama.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And to just see like a bunch of dudes like make a movie, it just, I don't know, just felt like you were a part of it almost.
Yeah, I felt like you guys were like broing out.
Yeah. So like to see that he's doing this third one, the gimmick of it, the meta thing, like everybody's doing a meta thing now, right? Like they're so like self-referential, like that's the new thing.
Right.
I don't know. So that's another thing that turns me off of it. But again, there's almost nothing that could stop me from putting this on a rainy Sunday. I'm not going to go to the theaters and see it. I'm not going to rent it day one when it, comes out on digital. But like there will be a day that comes where I have nothing to do and I go, oh, you know what? I'm going to put on Clerks 3. 100% without a doubt.
That's fair. Clerks 2 really was like so different from Clerks 1.
Yeah.
But still it felt very unique. I know what you mean. It's hard to describe. Is 2 where they have Morris Day and the time in the end?
That is Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I sing that
also a great movie. Yeah.
All the fucking time. Yeah. My jungle love. Oh wee. Yeah. I legitimately
that one too.
I legitimately love that. Oh, he's Cock Knocker.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. Come on. I'm desperately trying to check our email right now because I forgot to do it earlier. And the web mail reporter was just fucking angry at everybody and everything. Anyway, so that's all the trailers. I mean, look, go see Clerks 3. When's it coming out? September, I think.
I don't know.
It is coming out. No, that's not telling me. I'm pretty sure it's September. There's going to be a special. He's doing this thing where they're doing like a road show with it again. Where he takes the movie around the country and like they'll do like a Q&A and you get to like sit with them afterwards, which if you're into that, then cool. I'm not. I just want to see the movie. I've met Kevin once. Not like a big conversation, but like,
yeah,
it was a, hey, how are you? And maybe that contributes to why I think he's a sweetheart, because he was in fact a sweetheart.
Dude, like 10 years ago, I was at the bar and this dude who like very frequently listened to Kevin Smith's podcast was like talking about him, and I said something like, I feel like since he's gotten older he's kind of self-important, he just like kind of sits around and talks about himself, and he's sort of like unknowingly sort of egotistical. And this dude he's like, no offense, but you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I was like, we're done with this conversation, buddy. Like, why are you defending Kevin Smith this passionately? Like I very calmly told you what I thought of Kevin Smith. But anyway, sorry I cut you off for some reason. You were saying how you met Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah, I met him at the Carolinas on Broadway. He was just a sweetheart. It was a taping for the Comic Book Men. Did like a podcast thing. I don't know, whatever. Who cares? They were there and they had a live show and Kevin Smith popped in, of course, because they're all old friends.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the allure of it. He's just stayed friends with his childhood friends, like through everything. And it lends into my mental image of him just being like a really sweet guy. And I feel
he is a good guy. He helped Jason Mewes get clean. He helped a lot of the old guys from the old films get clean. I know he's not a piece of shit or something. I mean, just to put the jokes aside for
Will
a second.
Smith,
like,
exactly. Got him.
I know that deep down he cares for people, but stop fucking taking the crying. So just stop doing that, Kevin.
It's It's cringy. Okay, moving on. Main topics. The Boys. Season 3, episode season 3, episode 7. Smell Them Things, season 4 finale, and Beavis and Butthead Do America. Would you like to keep that in that order, or do you want to switch things around? That. Okay, we're into it. So I'm going to start off by reading you the couple of notes that I wrote down for this week's episode. Okay, I did this last season too. And I do it because this show, and I mean, we've just sucked its dick week after week, so I'm not going to dwell on that. But I do it because there's almost too much good shit that happens per episode, and I feel like it gets lost when we talk about it. So one was I don't think we're supposed to like him, but I kind of love Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy. Not him as a person; he's a piece of shit, but like the way he's playing him. And one of his retorts to, I think it was Huey, he says, "And you might want to gargle my ball sack." Yeah. And I was like, that's just an insult that I would say to one of my friends, and it was just lovely. I wrote that down. I wrote down that Frenchie got friend zoned. That sounds mean. They're actually really sweet together, and I know they're doing like the whole we're soulmates thing. But I also thought they were gonna like legit get together, and now that she called him family, I'm like, that's just not gonna happen.
I hate their whole arc. It's so.
Really?
I can't stand it.
Okay. All right.
Can't stand it.
I liked that she's going back for the Compound V now.
That was good. Yeah.
All right. Well, the whole arc. Man, I can't wait to stop this podcast so I can yell at you off mic. So this is not original. This is not my thought, but I always watch reactions to the episodes after we get done, and I do that for two reasons. One, the channels that I watch are pretty entertaining, and two, I want to see if they caught something I didn't, because sometimes they do. That's what happens. It's the same reason I love having our podcast. So one, I get to chat with one of my close friends every week, and two, it's him. And actually, if you're watching the video on YouTube, he's up here, so it's him. Fucking God. Yeah, and two is because we get to, like, I get to hear views of these shows that I love that potentially will change my arc. And we've talked about this before, but like, there's been things that I've said that you were like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. And the same thing goes for here. So this is not my take, but somebody said, hey, there's a big reveal this week. Spoiler alert. We're just diving right into details. Looks like Soldier Boy might be Homelander's daddy. And that's a big one. And the way they revealed it, that's a big departure from the comic books. It's very interesting if true. I like that development if true.
Big if true.
And because the way they deliver the surprise is great.
Yeah.
Because he calls him and Homelander's like, what? And he's like, shit. If Vogelbaum had told me he was making baby, he's like, I would have stepped aside. What proud father wouldn't have wanted his son to take the spotlight or something like that? And we all know that Homelander has severe mommy issues, and now he might have severe daddy issues too. Who knows? They might team up and destroy the entire fucking planet. So here was the theory I saw. They said, hey, Homelander, if Soldier Boy is the dad, there's a possibility, and the Boys is fucked up enough to do it.
I read this too.
That Stormfront might be the mom. Stormfront / Lady Liberty.
Yeah.
The one that, yes, was fucking him, could be his mom. And I think, one, it's a little too neat, but I also think how like debased the Boys is.
Yeah.
It would tie into his mommy issues so perfectly.
It really
if he's
would.
been fucking his mom this whole time.
Yeah. It makes sense on her end too, because she's like a Nazi, so she's all about like purifying the bloodline and shit.
Yeah.
So she would probably totally okay with fucking her son.
Yeah. Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, and what she knew? You know she would have. If that's true, you know she knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bleh. Hundo.
Anyway, cool theory. We'll see if it's true. I just heard someone talk about it. Just because like how old Soldier Boy is, and Stormlights also seem to not age. And then Soldier Boy and Lady Liberty sounds like they're going on. Yeah, those are my notes for this week. But what I would say what a quieter episode from last week, but a lot of shit happened.
It was a great penultimate episode because it put all the pieces in place. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. I agree. It wasn't as bombastic as episode 6, but it put everything in place that I believe that the 8th episode is going to be very over the top.
Oh, I can't wait. And it's tomorrow night, baby. I'm gonna spurt. So a couple other developments. Fucking. So they didn't kill A-Train.
They didn't.
And when they didn't kill him and I saw him in the hospital bed, I went, okay. I wasn't upset. We talked about it last week. We said we wouldn't be mad, but, maybe it was just such a pitch perfect way for him to go out.
Yeah.
And then the boy said, oh, yeah, guess what? You fucking second guessing us, motherfuckers. Guess what we did? And he wakes up and finds out that they put, what's his name? Blue Hawk? Blue Hawk. They put Blue Hawk's heart into A-Train to save his life. So he now has the heart of this dude that he hated so much that he died to kill, technically. Mm-hmm. But now he's superpowered again.
Yeah.
And do you think he's going to use it to get back in Homelander's good graces? Because I think he does. I hope they bait and switch this. I hope the whole season. I'm just kidding. I hope they don't. I hope he's a good guy. But the cynic in me wants him to just go back to being a piece of shit.
Yeah. It would be weird because we see such a pattern of him, like, not necessarily always doing the right thing, but a lot of times, like, he'll act in someone else's self-interest just because it sort of aligns with his as well. And he's sort of teetering every time towards seeing that the people he's working against, like at Vought, are scumbags. And to have them, like, do this for 3 seasons, just to have him go, like, oh, now that I've got that racist heart in me, I'm just going to be totally bad again. That would be like, what? I don't know. Just wouldn't.
Yeah, you're right.
It just wouldn't make sense from a story writing perspective.
I like it. I would still prefer him to be somewhat.
Oh, he can't be totally good now. No,
yeah. Yeah, like
that would just wouldn't be believable.
Like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Like he thinks he's being righteous for the things that he cares about because like his brother got hurt.
Yeah.
But he still like ignores the fact that he murdered people and
yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. I'm very excited.
For the last episode.
Quite excited for the last episode. Love.
I like this episode because, well, you kind of said it. Soldier Boy's great character.
He's really fun.
Jensen Ackles is just incredible. Great to look at. Man, can't wait for those gray hairs to pop in. Holy shit. But I feel like leading up to this point, we saw that he was a scumbag. It's not like before episode 7, he was a good guy. We see that.
Yeah, there's no secrets here.
But like, there were these hints that like he wasn't as big of a scumbag as Homelander. He sort of understands when he does something fucked up. Like whenever he has one of these explosions he can't control, he's kind of like, oh, like he's not just remorseless like Homelander who doesn't give a shit who he kills.
Right.
And so like there was a piece of you not wondering if he was a good guy, but wondering if he was like, maybe neutral leaning towards bad, whatever.
Yeah.
This episode showed no, he's a piece of shit. The whole time, it was a really good Kansas City shuffle because for the whole season, we know that Payback, is it called Payback? His old group? I think that's what they were called.
I think so.
We know that they killed him. We know they didn't get Russian money. They didn't get paid by the Russians to do so. We know that
they willingly gave him up.
And so we were like, why did they do that then? Like, what was their motive? And come to find out, because he was a fucking piece of shit to them. Like, he treated them all like they were nothing. He beat Black Noir's brain out of his head. And I love how they did the cartoon shit with Black Noir,
by the way. It was fantastic.
It, like, lends this... they've always had him kind of like... He's like this dangerous killing machine, but he has this sort of dainty side. He's like drinking a cup of tea in season 1.
Yeah.
There's like this superhero with a peanut allergy. I don't know. There's just the like contrast between those two things is hilarious. But now we're seeing like I feel like they're pitting Black Noir against him. I don't know. This could go anyway, right? Here's what I think. One of two things is going to happen. Either Homelander really is Soldier Boy's son. And in that case, I really hope that Stormfront is his mom because it would just be funny. There's two possibilities. Either that's true and Soldier Boy is still going to use that to just attack Homelander, essentially,
Right.
like use it against him, or he totally just fucking made it up and he's using it to attack him, knowing that he's stronger than him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know which direction it's going to go. And like I said, it put all the pieces right where they need to be, and it's kind of keeping you guessing. Like there's some stuff that's kind of telegraphed, but again, like you don't know if it's going to go this way or that. Excellent episode. I cannot fucking wait for this season finale. This is a great TV show.
One more thing we forgot to point out, another great moment. They're just, like I said, there's so many per episode that it's hard to touch base on all of them. Starlight, with the fucking balls she had going into the vault tower.
Oh, yeah. That was
and she meets up with Homelander, and he's basically like, I'm going to fucking kill Huey next. Like, what are you doing here? And the whole time I'm like, she has got some massive testicles because, I mean, as far as I can tell, she's just not as strong as him in any way, shape, or form. Like, her powers would not match to his. And then she reveals that she's been recording the whole fucking thing live to her audience members once again. And it's fantastic. I mean, she continues to catch him off guard. He's not ready for it. He's like, well, we're just running lines. You're not supposed to be recording us, but we're running lines.
Yeah.
It's like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, was pretty great. Looking forward to it. Also, one mystery that's left is no clue what information the Congresswoman gave Homelander.
I think it was Ryan's address. It was like it was an address on there.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, and how she's going to factor into all this, because her ability is pretty OP.
Yeah.
She can just pop heads.
She's a head popper. I wonder though, like, there's got to be like a limit on that. Like, can she pop Homelander's head? I don't think so. Why would
they said that? Remember earlier in the season when they first met, he was like, "Do you think you could pop my head? Maybe. Is you gonna try?"
Oh,
I was like, "Oh, that's juicy."
I missed that.
It was right before she betrayed Edgar, because it was a conversation they had. Anyway, moving on. Stranger Things season 4, volume 2, 4 hours, over 2 episodes. My grand review is as follows. It was Stranger Things dialed up to like 11.
Yeah.
They doubled down on all the things that annoy me with Stranger Things, and they also doubled down on some truly epic scenes that I knew were coming, but I still thought were pretty fucking righteous. I've been humming Master of Puppets in my head all week at work. I'm like, I don't know the words, but like,
there you go, you got it.
Yeah, that's what he sounds like. I love Eddie. I'm sad that he died.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm very sad that he died. Here's my. Oh God, the whole "you're the heart" and he tells Ellie loves her to like make her like be more. I hated it.
It sucked
because I knew it was coming, and it's so predictable. And I get that like Stranger Things has never tried to have any gotcha storytelling moments, but I just didn't like it. And not only that, but that a lot of this felt crazy dragged out. I joked to Samantha that like Steve, Nancy, and who else were they with?
Robin. Yeah.
We're like being strangled against the
for
wall
like
of that
45
hallway
minutes.
for like 40 fucking minutes. I was like, they're dead, right? Like it's been, and I get it. Like all this stuff is happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
So they're like, you know, it's jumping back to show us what led up to the, and I get that. And I'm not complaining about the payoff, because when all 3 things in the 3 different groups of people happened at the same time, it felt righteous as fuck and super epic. Like Hopper slicing off a Demogorgon's arm, which was super fun.
Yeah.
You know, they're throwing Molotovs at Vecna, you know, like all just everything's happening at once.
Dude, Murray with the flamethrower.
Murray with the fucking
assholes! And he's like laughing, he's like cackling like a madman. So
good.
Fucking great.
Yeah, like I'm saying, they double down on the cheese and the ridiculousness and some of the bad storytelling habits that they've formed over the years. And they also double down on stuff that I love about Stranger Things as a series. My biggest compliment I can pay is the young actors in this show that you don't know how great they're going to be at their craft in 10 years from now. And I think that they did such a good job casting, because I cried a lot this volume 2. And it was mostly when someone was dying. And I know it's like, well, no shit, but like Eddie, I know he's not one of the younger cast members, but I'm getting to that in a second because the other contender was Lucas. When Eddie is in Dustin's arms and he's like, I didn't run away this time, right? And I was like, fuck me. Yeah. You did not, you fucking honey. And then Dustin's telling his uncle about how he was a hero. And those were top-notch moments. Second place for emotional beats for me was when Max was dying in Lucas's arms. And he's like, I don't know what it was. It reminded me, it's not really the same scene, but it reminded me of like Andrew Garfield's sincere acting when he's holding Gwen Stacy in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh my God, he's a good actor. Like Lucas screaming like somebody get help when she's like dying. I was like, oh my God, I can't stop crying.
Yeah.
It was very heavy.
It was great. Eddie hit me the hardest, I think. First of all, let me say this. The Master of Puppets scene was like, I cannot imagine. I watched it right before we started recording, like 5 minutes beforehand. I was so fucking hyped for that whole thing, and the way it montages between what's going on with everyone.
So good.
And how everything's just getting, like, even Dustin's doing this like countdown, 30 seconds. It was just like so fucking awesome. He shreds that solo in the last like 15 seconds. It was, dude, it was so incredible. His death hurt. It was so telegraphed. It was the most. Everybody knew it was coming. Everybody knew from the beginning, like all season, he's saying stuff like, "I would never stick my neck out for anyone else," and
it's like,
I look like a hero to you. It's like, you're gonna die for someone. Didn't make it any easier. You're
gonna be the best of all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
You son of a bitch.
But no, I actually agree. You know, part of me was like, there was a lot of melodrama that I was like, this is really my only bad thing to say about it, so I'll get it out of the way. A lot of the melodrama. Like initially I went, well, this is Stranger Things. It doesn't hide its melodrama. And then I went, you know what? I don't give other shit a break for, well, they're trying to do it. So I'm not going to give them a break for it either.
Yeah, fuck them.
It really was laid on way too thick sometimes. I actually did not like the scene between Dusty and Eddie's uncle because it just felt like it was dragging on forever. It felt like there was like, if that scene went on like 2 seconds longer, they would have been saluting an American flag and calling him like an American hero. It was just so like, he died for a town.
He is an American hero.
But like, come on, like it did.
I know
some of those scenes just went on for way too long. Steve's like, "There's something I didn't tell you about."
Oh God,
you were the one in the.
You were the.
Yeah, like,
oh
dude,
God,
come on.
Will's painting literally of him, like the shield is like the heart. Like you're the heart.
I know. But the scene in the van with Will, where he's basically like explaining the
Chef's
parallel
kiss.
between like him being gay, that really. I was like, for the first half of season 4, when they were kind of insinuating that he was gay, it felt so like tacked on to me. And I was saying that to Veronica, like as we were watching it, like, oh, they're going to make him gay just because they kind of mentioned his mom thinks he might be in season 1 or something. And then like, that was a so totally vital and believable scene. And the way he like hides his face and just starts like sobbing uncontrollably was like, dude, it got
Because you've been a kid in the car, and I assume you weren't confessing that you were homosexual to your best friend, but you've tried to hide being upset about something. Might have been something completely stupid, but you know he did that perfectly. Yeah. I agree.
And then the scene with Jonathan, who's been like nothing this whole season. He's like done absolutely nothing.
He's been high.
Pep talk to Will was incredible too, where he's like basically saying like, I know you're gay, but you can say that to me when you're ready. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
He's like, there's nothing you could do that would make me stop loving you. I was just like, that was such a fucking good scene. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all the same points everybody's already hit online. This is like the biggest show right now. It broke the Nielsen record or whatever that bullshit is. But you know, it was incredible. I loved it. I can't wait for season 5. I heard an interesting theory today that I wanted to share.
Hit me, Daddy.
For the direction that season 5 is going to go in. So basically, you've probably seen the images floating around that there's a lot of parallels between Will and Vecna. Vecna's dad said the same thing about Vecna. I can't remember what his like human name is. When he was a kid, that Joyce says about Will in season 1, which is like, my boy is very sensitive or something. It's like literally the exact same sentence. That Joyce says about Will, Vecna's dad said about him when he was a kid.
Interesting.
They both draw the mind flare as kids, like when they're just in like a fever dream. They both draw the mind flare.
Yeah.
So what people?
But they look nothing alike.
Well, they're not that they're the same person, but that they're connected in some way.
Okay.
And that maybe Will has like access to whatever one or Vecna gained access to. And so that basically, because they have these similarities and that Will has this sensitivity to whatever Vecna had a sensitivity to, this basically like bubbling jealousy that Will feels, again, I just fixed this. This bubbling jealousy that Will feels towards 11 because she's with Mike is sort of Vecna is going to use to manifest as like hatred and overtake him and basically like possess him to attack.
Interesting.
So I don't know. And he had right at the end, he had the tingling on the back of his neck again. So I don't know. Yep. We could see. I'm not saying there's totally concrete evidence, but I thought it was interesting enough to kind of share.
Yeah, that's cool. I was reading something about this season and how they were like, like most seasons, sure, they might tease like a little bit of something evil still out there, but for the most part, each season is like everybody's happy at the end. There's resolutions. Everyone's back to normal life. And this one, like, they don't get a break. Like it's all this crazy shit happened to them. They were all spread apart. They all had really tough goes of it. People, Max is in a coma. We don't know if she's going to wake up. I'm sure she will. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Can you imagine if her arc was just that she never wakes back up and she dies?
Of season 5, she just dies.
Oh my God. Just the balls on the Duffer Brothers if they did that.
Yeah.
Of course she's going to wake back up. Yeah. I don't know if she'll wake up in time. There's rumors that there will be a time jump, so I don't know how that works into it. It's a lot we don't know, but I do know that like every season of Stranger Things has not ended with there being massive tears between the Upside Down and Hawkins that are there, and then like the Upside Down ash falling from the sky. It's like killing, like it's about to go down. Like the veil is very thin between Hawkins and the Upside Down right now, and I'm excited. I mean, I'm probably gonna go back and watch the whole show again.
I am too.
I'm gonna wait till we get a season 5 release date though. But I'm going to do it because it's been years since I've seen some of these seasons, especially the earlier ones. And I'm excited to see them kind of grow up over the years. Again, I don't know why it stands out so much to me. I don't think it was necessarily anything special, not to sound like an asshole, but like Lucas's arc in this season, I really loved.
I loved it too. I thought it was really good.
Him like finding his way back to his friends and back to Max. And then, I mean, Jesus Christ, the acting of that kid, and that scene when Max was like
Max
dying.
is acting she's an excellent actor too. My God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sadie Sink, I believe her name is, which is hilarious because that sounds like the name of a character in a show because of alliteration. But good for you. All right, on to the most important thing we're going to talk about this week. Beavis and Butthead do the universe.
This movie sucked.
Okay, did this movie suck? Yes. Did this movie still make me chuckle, like to the extent where I was like annoyed that it got me with some of its jokes? Also true, at least for me.
Agree.
Because a couple of the jokes, like they were so 90s juvenile that I was like, well, I mean, I still say these nuts all the time. Like, so you got me. And I'm here's the thing, like just 2 days out from having watched it, I can't recite a single one of those jokes.
Yeah.
But
it's very forgettable.
Yeah. But like, so for example, they go to space through absolutely ridiculous circumstances, and it's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to be ridiculous. And they know that, but it's still think it's a detriment to the movie because it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But they're at space camp and they're like wizards of docking because the ship looks like a dick and the dock is like a vagina. And they come up and they're like, they've been doing this for 23
yeah.
hours. It's just like, okay, you got me. It's funny.
No, here's what I think the issue with this movie was. Just before you get too far away from that point, because I have a point to make about it.
Okay.
Beavis and Butthead is a show about it's from the 90s about just dudes who laugh at stupid shit, the same stupid shit that we laugh at.
Right.
Oh, she said boner or whatever, like the show is 20 whatever with commercials 22 minutes long. And so that kind of like immature humor can last for 22 minutes, but like once you stretch it out into a movie length, it's just kind of like, am I supposed to keep laughing at this? And so like the beginning of the movie had me, dude, the part that you're talking about with the docking had me and Veronica in tears. Like just the fact that they were like, they've been at this for 24 hours. And like, they kept just saying the same, like, whoa, like every single time they got it back in. It was every time they just kept saying the same thing. I was like tearing up laughing.
They were like, look, they're using the armature to do a manual docking procedure.
Yeah. It's just so like jerking it off. Yeah. But then beyond that, it's like a fucking muscle got worn out or something. And I'm just like, I think from like half an hour into this movie on, I think there's only one spot that made me laugh. And I'm going to tell you what it is because it's the last thing I have to say about the movie.
Do it.
Here's the other part where it failed. They were trying to do this gimmick where it was like, all right, let's take the crass humor of 1998 and bring it into like sort of the cultural sensibilities of 2022. Yeah. And they never really committed to that because I think that they were just afraid of backlash. And so like there's the part where they go to the gender studies class.
I laughed at this quite heavily.
Yeah, me too. And so like they were talking about white privilege and they're teaching them about white privilege. And so this black student is like, so, and they're like, well, what's white privilege? And she goes like, oh, and this like white hippie next to her is like, oh, Cassandra, I've got this one, like totally interrupts her. And it's obviously like, it's like a meta joke. The guy has white privilege and he's interrupting like someone who could explain it better than him because he has the spot. And everybody came to a very good answer. Like they all pat him on the back.
Yeah, it was great.
But beyond that, it just felt like they wanted to highlight sort of the absurdity of somebody from the 90s, like trying to understand things like critical race theory and gender studies while not being offensive towards those actual schools of thought.
Yeah.
But they couldn't do it in a funny way. So they did respect those ideologies. They did show the absurdity, but it just, other than that one thing, just wasn't funny. So it's like, why even do it if you couldn't figure out a fun? It's a comedy movie. Like why? And so from that point on, I was just like, I'm ready for this movie to be done. Like it just,
I know what you mean.
It didn't.
I thought all the like, they're like, let's just take a cop car, and they like took it. They're like, we have white privilege. We're allowed to do this.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah.
Didn't let me educate you about
Didn't
it.
you
Like,
hear?
yeah. They're like, whoa. Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely think the movie as a whole, I said whole, didn't need to exist. Didn't need to exist, or should have been like, maybe this is the opposite of Obi-Wan. Like maybe this is the movie that should have been a series.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
because the humors felt the same. It felt genuinely Beavis and Butthead. A couple of the gimmicks didn't work, but if they were in episodic form, like okay, maybe that week's just not great, but like the show's still funny. You know what I mean? I did like some of them. Overall, if you can watch it for free, you should watch it. Yeah. If you're gonna pay for it, don't pay for it.
Do it. Not worth it. Not worth the money.
All right, that's all we got.
That's it.
That's all she wrote. Murder, she wrote.
Murder is all that she wrote. One word, and then she got tired.
Did you ever watch that show?
Never, not once.
Me either. But it's always like
my grandma watched it.
Oh, everybody's grandma watched it, and like that, and like
murder porn for
One
grandmoms.
Life to Live. Like one of those soap operas that comes on ABC at like 1 PM when everyone's doing their lifetime things and they're old and can't do anything useful in society anymore, so they watch soap operas.
Yeah,
they made them for you. They made them to occupy your dwindling mental capacity. And with that, we're gonna wrap it up. Fuck old people, am I right? All right, we'll see you guys next week. Episode 74. I think we're going with Pro Chris Anti-Pratt
into it.
And I got to make a really horrible Photoshop tonight that I'm going to regret and still post. We'll see you next week. Next week we'll have The Boys season 3 finale, which I'm very excited for.
We're going to watch men. We're going to watch human men out in public. We're going to watch
men, and we'll probably try to figure something else out.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you, if you don't mind, I know we're not super late. Have you been watching The Expanse, or you were out all weekend? So I don't know if you got any more.
No, I was going to try to tonight. I'm kind of back on the Bloodborne train a little bit. But I do have an intention to watch more this week. So
Intendio. It's like a Harry Potter spell.
Yeah.
Do you think if Harry Potter was around today, they would have a spell called Yeetus Deletus? That's a good place to end it. Where can everybody find you at?
They can find my video feed frozen. That's got to be 10 times I've done this in one single thing.
We gotta either figure this out, or we gotta get you like RMA'd so they give you a new one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Dr. GloomMD. That's DRGLOOMMD. I'm playing a lot of Bloodborne, which I'm not streaming, just because I don't have a proper capture card that doesn't suck ass. I have been streaming some Monster Hunter Rise, which I'm having a really good time with.
We're going to talk about that next week.
Okay.
Because I've been waiting for you to get back from vacation so that you can, like you said,
all I need to know is, are you under 2 hours, and are you going to return it?
Under 2 hours, and I'm not going to return it.
Okay, excellent.
Because I believe you when you tell me that there's an enjoyable grind underneath all of this super weeb shit.
It's very weeby.
I was kind of prepared for the amount of weeb, but it even surprised me this time.
Yeah.
Because it feels worse than Monster Hunter World when it comes to the weeb stuff.
Yeah.
Not worse as in like a worse game. Worse as in like assaulting my senses with weeb paraphernalia. And creatures and furries. All
right, we won't do a deep dive, but what weapon are you using? I'm curious.
I haven't even like picked an official one. I'm doing like my first mission night. I just have like the starter.
You have like the long sword.
Yeah. No, I sincerely, when you were like, I was scared of you starting it without me being able to guide you through it. I was like, well, okay, I'll wait for you to guide me through it. So, we'll talk about it next week. I have a lot to say.
Jeez, I'm not fixing it this time. We're done.
No, fuck it. We're done. We're done. He's frozen. He's playing guess what? Can't make him blink. Try it. You won't.
Go ahead. Give it a shot.
We're going to wrap her up. I'll talk about my sci-fi addiction next week because it's still going to be going strong. But you can find me on Twitch and Twitter, TCM Plays. I have not been streaming either recently, but mostly due to the holidays. I'm going to be streaming this game called Deliver Us the Moon. I will probably be doing that tomorrow night. That's my goal right now. That's it. We're going to go.
That's it. No joke at the end.
Derek could be jerking it off on camera right now, and then, but I can't.
I've just been giving you a really endearing smile for the past 45 seconds.
That's so sweet. We next week's podcast we're gonna have our Thor: Love and Thunder review.
Oh, right.
We have another mandate. The wives are coming, but they don't count.
Yeah, we don't care.
This Saturday we're going to see it, so we'll be talking about it next week, and that's gonna wrap it up. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.